Welcome to On the Sideline. I'm your host, Keon Lee. In this week's episode, we recap all the craziness from week four, discuss if the Ravens are cooked after a 1-3 start, why I don't think the Chiefs are back, if you say, even though they won two straight games, and what are my great first quarter grades for every single NFL team. Find out on this week's episode of On the Sideline. All right, kicking off week four of the NFL season, we got the Seahawks and the Cardinals, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't watch a ton of week four. I didn't watch a ton of week four. But as you can see by the box score, Sam Darnold was amazing, 242 yards passing and a touchdown. Zach Charbonnet had the rushing touchdown, and the touchdown was caught by AJ Barner. And defensively, they got after Kyler Murray a ton. I mean, they got to him. Let me three, four, one, two, four, 5 sacks. Dang. And then Ernest Jones, the fourth, got the lone interception. As for the Ernest Jones and who was the other one? And Kobe Bryant. As for the Cardinals, I mean, Tyler had an okay game. I mean, he had two touchdowns, but also two interceptions. Receiving was led by Marvin Harrison Jr. with 66 yards and a touchdown. And Mario DeMarcado caught what was the game-tying touchdown at the end. And then defensively, I mean, their defense hung around. I mean, they got after Sam Darnold three times. Next game up, we got the Vikings and the Steelers. The first game in Ireland, and I gotta say right now, this game was very interesting. Carson Wentz had himself a day, 350 yards passing, two touchdowns, and two interceptions. Jordan Mason had 57 yards rushing. Justin Jefferson had an amazing game, 126 yards receiving. Jordan Addison, who I dropped in fantasy, um, had 114 yards receiving. And then Xavier Scott had a touchdown. Jalen Naylor had a touchdown. And defensively, they got to Aaron Rodgers twice. As for the Steelers, I mean, Aaron had a pretty good game. I mean, first half, he was cooking. 200 yards passing and a touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell actually had all three touchdowns, two touchdowns for the Steelers, and DK Metcalf had like a 80-yard bomb for a touchdown. And defensively, they got after Carson Wentz five times, my math is correct, and then TJ Watt and Deshaun Elliott both had the interception. Peeking at the next game, we got the Commanders and the Falcons, and honestly, I'm starting a little bit worried about the Commanders a little bit. I know Jane Daniels hasn't played these last few weeks, but I'm starting to get concerned. I mean, look at this. Marcus Mariota, 156 yards passing, two touchdowns and INT. Chris Rodriguez Jr. had 59 yards rushing. And then receiving was led by Deebo Samuel with 72 yards and old man Zach Ertz. Touchdowns were caught by Deebo Samuel and Luke McCaffrey. And defensively, I mean, defensively, they only got after, who was it, Michael Penix once, and they picked him off once, which was very interesting. As for the Falcons, I mean, Michael Penix, if you can exclude the INT, maybe it was a bad INT. He had himself an awesome game. I mean, 313 yards passing, two touchdowns. Bijan Robinson had a touchdown. Tyler Allgeier had a touchdown. Drake London had an amazing game, a touchdown. Bijan Robinson had 116 yards passing and then 70 yards catch for Kyle Pitts and a touchdown. And I pinched him in fantasy, and I'm not happy about that. And then Xavier Watts had an interception. Zach Harrison had the lone sack. Peeking at the next game, we got probably the shock of the day, which is the Chargers and the Giants. And honestly, this wasn't a bad loss for the Chargers, I would say. But all right, I mean, Justin Herbert had an okay game. He had a touchdown, but two interception. Amarian Hampton looks like the real deal. He had a touchdown. I think he had like a 80-yard bomb rushing touchdown, which I believe in this game, which is kind of crazy. And then the touchdown was caught by Quentin Johnson with 98 yards receiving. And defensively, they got after Jackson Dart six times. Dang. As for the Giants, I mean, Jackson Dart, this was his first game as a starter. He had a touchdown. He also had a rushing touchdown. Cameron Scavu is a demon. He had 79 yards rushing. Slayton had 44 yards receiving. Theo Johnson caught the touchdown. And unfortunately, as many of you guys know, Malik Neighbors only was held to 200 yards and 20 touchdowns. It's not because he was shut down. It's because he unfortunately tore his ACL. Prayers up to the guy. He is an absolute demon. As for the defense, I mean, the defense showed why they are going to be the most annoying defense to play against. I mean, Brian Burns got sacked. Kayvon Thibodeau got sacked. All right, Andrew Phillips got a interception. Big sexy Dexter Lawrence had the interception, and that was pretty much a good game for the Giants. Next game up, we got the Titans and the Texans, and honest to God, this was a much needed win for the Texans. You know, I mean, Cam Ward had an interception. Tony Pollard had 64 yards passing. Elik Aomarnar had 44 yards receiving. And they only got after CJ Stroud only twice. As for the Texans, I mean, CJ had himself a good game. He had 233 yards passing, two touchdowns. Jacoian Marks had a touchdown, receiving touchdown. He also had a receiving touchdown. Jaden Higgins also got a touchdown. And defensively, they got after Cam Ward twice, which is kind of shocking. As for the next game, we got the Eagles and the Bucks, and this game was very interesting because, as many of you guys know, the Eagles have been one of the best teams in the league over the past couple years. You know which team give them fits? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But anyway, Jalen Hurts had an okay game, 130 yards passing, two touchdowns. Saquon Barkley had a rushing touchdown. Dallas Goedert had two touchdowns, and defensively, they got after Baker Mayfield twice, but they also picked him off by Jahad Campbell. As for the Bucks, I mean, Baker had an okay game, 289 yards passing, two touchdowns and 19. Bucky Irvin was shut down a little bit. He had 63 yards passing. Bucky Irvin also had a receiving touchdown. Emeka Buka, who's an absolute demon, he had himself a day with 1 yards and a touchdown. And they got after Jalen Hurts twice. Yeah. Peeking at the next game, we got the Panthers and the Patriots. And honest to God, this game was ugly. I mean, look at this. Bryce Young had 150 yards passing and a touchdown. Andy Dalton had a touchdown. Chuba Hubbard had 49 yards rushing. Tommy Tremble had a touchdown. Mitchell Evans had a touchdown. And defensively, they only got after Drake May only once. As for the Patriots, I mean, Drake May has been balling out this year. I don't know why people are not talking about that. Drake had 230 yards passing, two touchdowns. Travion Henderson had a touchdown. Antonio Gibson had a touchdown. Drake May had a rushing touchdown as well. And defensively, they only got after Bryce Young only once, which is kind of interesting. Peeking at I think this was the final morning game. No, this was the next game. We got the Saints and the Bills. And honest to God, this was kind of a scare for the Bills. All right. But, the better team won. I mean, Spencer Rattler had 126 yards passing and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara led the way with 70 yards rushing. Kendre Miller had a touchdown. And Chris Olave had the touchdown. And defensively, they got to Josh Allen how many times? One, two, three. Three times and picked him up once by Jonas Sanker. As for the Bills, I mean, Josh had a pretty solid game, 29 yards passing, two touchdowns and an INT. James Cook had himself a day with 117 yards rushing and a touchdown. Josh Allen also had a touchdown, and those were thrown by Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid. And they only got to Spencer Rattler only three times. And then Cole Bishop got the lone interception. As for the final morning game, we got the Lions and the Browns, and obviously this was Joe Flacco's last game of the year. As for now, because, he's old. He had two interceptions. Quinshawn Jenkins had the lone touchdown, and defensively, despite getting 5 sacks last week against Green Bay, they only got after Jared. They didn't get after Jared Goff at all. Denzel Ward did get the interception though, but yeah. As for the Lions, I mean, Jared Goff had himself an okay game. He had two touchdowns and an interception. Jameer Gibbs had a touchdown. Amon St. Brown had two touchdowns, and they got after Joe Flacco three times. And DJ Reed and Kirby Joseph both had the interceptions. And finally, to the afternoon slate of games, we got the Jags and the Rams. Honest to God, this Jags team is looking a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Now, I did say no. I know I did say that they were going to win the division, but I didn't expect them to be 3-1, you know. But anyway, Trevor did not have a good game, 4 yards passing and a touchdown. Travis Etienne had the lone rushing touchdown with 129 yards rushing, and their touchdown was caught by Hunter Long for 23 yards and a touchdown. And defensively, I mean, they got after Brock Purdy once, but picked him off twice by Devin Lloyd. As for the 49ers, I mean, Brock had himself an okay game, 39 yards passing, two touchdowns, and two INTs. Christian McCaffrey was shut down with 49 yards rushing, but he also caught the lone touchdown along with Jake Tungus. And defensively, they did not get after Trevor Lawrence, which is kind of crazy. As for the next morning game, we got the Colts and the Rams. This game was actually a very interesting game. I know I said that a lot, but like this game was actually tied at one point. If you know, Adonis Mitchell did not get a touchdown. But anyway, Daniel Jones had an okay game, 260 yards, two passing yards, or touchdown and two INTs. Jonathan Taylor was shut down with 76 yards rushing. Tyler Warren caught a rushing touchdown, whenever you've seen that. And offensively, I mean, Michael Pittman Jr. had himself a touchdown, and Adonis Mitchell could have another one if he did not fumble the ball. And defensively, I mean, they got after Matthew Stafford three times, which ain't bad, which ain't bad. As for the Rams, I mean, Matthew Stafford had himself a day. I mean, 375 yards passing, three touchdowns. Kyle Williams was shut down, so I think both teams wanted to shut down the run game a little bit. Uh, but Puka Nacua had 170 yards passing, receiving, and a touchdown. Tutu Atwell had a touchdown. My boy Devontae Adams had a touchdown, and they got after Daniel Jones twice and picked him off twice, both by Cameron Curl. As for the next afternoon game, we got the Bears and the Raiders. And honest to God, this game was very weird because I don't know. It just gave me a weird vibe to it. Caleb had 212 yards passing, a touchdown interception. DeAndre Swift had a rushing touchdown. Romeo Dunze had a receiving touchdown. And they picked off Geno Smith three times and did not generate any sacks, which is kind of crazy. As for the Raiders, I mean, Geno was struggling. I mean, 117 yards passing, two touchdowns, and three INTs. Ashton Denty probably had his best game as a Raider, 138 yards rushing and a touchdown. Receiving was led by Brock Bowers with 46 yards, but Ashton Denty also caught two touchdowns as well. And Max Crosby caught the interception, and they only got after Caleb Williams only once. And finally, the last afternoon game, we got the Ravens and the Chiefs. And honest to God, this game, like the Browns and the Lions, got ugly real quick. I mean, look at this. Lamar had a touchdown and an INT. He did leave the game with a hamstring injury. Justice Hill had a rushing touchdown. Justice Hill also caught a receiving touchdown, and they did not get after. Oh, wait, no, they did. They only got to Patrick Mahomes only once. As for the Chiefs, I mean, Mahomes had a really good game, probably his best game of the season. 270 yards passing and four touchdowns. I mean, the run game was non-existent, but the people who got touchdowns was Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Isaiah Pacheco, and Tyquan Thornton. And they got after Lamar twice and picked him off once from Leo Chanel. And finally, oh God, I don't want to talk about this game right here. We got the Packers and the Cowboys, which ended up being a tie. And honest to God, I'm a little bit upset about it. Yes, folks, it's Wednesday, and I'm still upset about the loss. What can you say? I mean, Jordan Love had a really good game, 337 yards passing, three touchdowns. Josh Jacobs had two touchdowns. Romeo Dobbs caught all three touchdowns, and defensively, we did only got two. Dak Prescott only once. As for the Cowboys, I mean, Dak also had a really good game. He had 319 yards passing, three touchdowns. Javonte Williams has been playing really well really well. He had a touchdown. George Pickens was a demon. He had two touchdowns. Jake Ferguson had the other touchdown, and they got after Jordan Love only once by James Houston. And finally, we got the Monday night games. I mean, I'm gonna go briefly through them. The Jets and the Dolphins. I mean, this game was boring. I mean, Justin Fields had an okay game, 226 yards passing and a touchdown. Justin Fields also had a rushing touchdown. Garrett Wilson caught the lone touchdown. And defensively, despite having probably a not good offensive line, the Jets could not get after Tua. As for the Dolphins, I mean, Tua had a really solid game, 170 yards passing, two touchdowns. Devon Achane had touchdown. Darren Waller had two miraculous touchdown grabs, which were insane. And defensively, they got after Justin Fields twice. And finally, the next game, we got the Bengals and the Broncos. And honest to God, this game, if you're a Bengals fan, was ugly to watch. I mean, Jake Browning, 125 yards passing. T. Higgins had 32 yards passing. And defensively, as I predicted, they didn't get after Bo Nix. So Demetrius Knight Jr. got the interception, though, but it wasn't enough. As for the Broncos, I mean, Bo Nix had himself a day. Two touchdowns and an interception, but 326 yards passing. you know, but it wasn't enough. J.K. Dobbins had a rushing touchdown. Marvin Mims Jr. had a touchdown. Bo Nix had a rushing touchdown. Cortland Sutton had a touchdown. R.J. Harvey had a touchdown. And they got after Jake Browning three times? Yep, three times. And that is it to recap week 4 of the NFL season. So now we're going to briefly talk about if the Ravens are screwed after yet another heartbreaking loss to the Chiefs. You know, I don't want to count them out just yet. They've had so many injuries. They've had if you exclude the 49ers, they've had the worst injury luck of any team. You know, but I don't think they're done. I don't think they're screwed. I do think though this week against the Texans is a must-win game because if you don't win next week against the Texans, you can kiss your season goodbye. You know, I mean, what can you say? All right, a lot of people are writing them off. I'm not ready to write them off just yet, but if they don't win next week, then yeah, I'm gonna be jumping on the train of they're probably screwed. So yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments section below. Are the Ravens done? Let me know in the comments section below. Now we're gonna briefly talk about the Chiefs and if they are back after two straight wins. Look, I don't want to beat a dead horse when I say this. I don't think they are back. I still think this team is still not that very good. All right. I'm not discrediting Patrick Mahomes or the Chiefs. Okay. It's that when you look at that division, look at the Chargers. Yes, I know the Chargers lost last week against the Giants. The Broncos have looked okay, and the Raiders are just like really weird. All right. But I still think the Chiefs are going to be pushed to the brink. In fact, I think Chris Sims, one of my favorite football personalities, said on his in an interview that he doesn't think the Chiefs are going to win the division. I'm not ready to say that. Okay? I have a good friend who's a Chiefs fan. Shout out Nick Hutchinson. I don't say you guys are going to win the division. I just don't think this team is good. All right? I Will I be surprised if they win the AFC West this year? Yeah, I won't be surprised at all. But they're not a good team. Okay? What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, moving on to our next segment, we're going to give our first quarter grades for every single NFL team after week 4. If I could find my tier list. Where is the tier list? Let's see if I can find it. Let me see. All right, so here we go. Here is the tier list. We have the top tier, which is A plus. Like they had an amazing first quarter of the season. A minus, they look good, not great. B plus meaning they've been good, but I need to see more like consistency. B minus is like they're great, but like I need to see more. And then C plus and C minus, obviously they're like been decent. D plus to D minus, they've been okay, and then finally F is like, what it is. So let's start with the 49ers. I want to say A minus just because like this team has the injury bug to start out the gate and it sucks, for them because a lot of people are saying that the 49ers were going to come for vengeance. I don't know. It just sucks, man. It just sucks seeing them get hurt and stuff like that. Next up, we got the Cardinals. I'm gonna say right now a B minus. They've been okay. All right. They haven't been good, is what I'm gonna say. They're 2-2. I know they're 2-2, but they have been like okay. They haven't been like, wow, they've been so amazing. Next up, we got the Ravens. I mean, is this the most obvious one of them all? I'm gonna say F. All right, and it pains me to say that, but offensively, they've been good. They have been good offensively. It's that defensively, they like if you exclude game one against Cleveland, they have not looked good defensively. Next up, we got the Bills. I mean, this one's obvious. A plus. I mean, they're 4-0. All right. They have been one of the best. They're the only undefeated team in their conference. Josh Allen's playing solid football. James Cook looks amazing. And, despite having a ton of injuries, like defensively, they've looked rock solid. The Panthers. I'm gonna say D plus. I mean, they haven't. I know they're 1-3 right now, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I feel like this offense is trying to find its groove. All right. I think, I still think this team is going to be good than people think they are because a lot of people are saying they're going to be bad this year. I don't think so. This team is still going to be, I think, going to be a frisky team, but we shall see. Next up, we got the Bears, a C minus, and that's me being generous. All right, look, they kind of remind me, hear me out in this analogy. They remind me of the Cowboys when I think it was Dak's last fully healthy season, where they beat up on the bad teams, but they can't beat a good team. All right. I know they lost to the Vikings in week one of the NFL season, but like, come on. Let's be honest here. Next up, we got the Bengals. I mean, D minus. Their offense like is ass without Joe Burrow. Defensively has not gotten better. You know, I don't know. Next up, we got the Browns. I'm actually gonna go C plus here. All right. They have looked good. All right. Defensively, they've been one of the best defenses in the league. I think statistically, they're like top 10 in every statistical category. Offensively is where I have concerns, but if your defense can push your offense to the brink, then their offense can be fine. Next up, we got the Cowboys. I'm gonna go B minus. I know this team has looked kind of weird. They lost to the Bears. But like they won. I think they tied with the Packers, which is saying a lot. But I'm gonna say B minus. Broncos. I'll I'll go B plus. I mean, defensively, they could be 3-1, but it is what it is. I mean, defensively, I think they have one of the best defenses in the league. Offensively, I wish I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I wish they drafted a wide receiver in the first round. Because if they drafted a wide receiver in the first round, none of this shenanigans would have happened, Sean Payton. But anyway, B plus. Next up, we got the Lions. A minus. A minus. They've looked good. All right. I know they're first in the division. Lions fans do not remind me. But this team is still going to be good. I still think they're going to be competitive. Defense is where I have a little concern, but as long as the offense can stall out the opposing team's defense, I think they'll be fine. The Eagles, I mean, this one is obvious, an A plus. I mean, one of the best teams in the league. Defensively, I have some concerns, but like that's it. This is what happens when you lose a bunch of your starters. But I think they'll be fine. A plus. Falcons. I'm gonna go D. They have not impressed me at all this year. In fact, I'm gonna put C. They have not looked good. They like their offense is just like, what do you make of it, man? Like, what can you say? Like, I don't know, just they have not looked good is all I gotta say. Next up, we got the Packers. I'm gonna be brutally honest when I say this. I'm gonna go B plus. They have not looked good to me. Offensively, they have been good, all right. But defense is where I have a lot of concerns. All right. I mean, look at this. You know, sorry about that, but they had all right. Like you lit up 40 points to the Dallas Cowboys who did not have ceiling. You know how embarrassing that is? That is very embarrassing. Next up, we got the Texans. I know they won last week, but right now it's an F. All right. Defensively, they've been amazing. They've been amazing. But offensively, I don't even know what to say with their offense. Like their offensive line is so ass. Like that's me being generous, Texans fans. All right, but it is what it is. Colts, A minus. This team has pretty much looked really good compared to what I expected last heading into the season. All right, Daniel Jones looks great. Defensively has been solid. All right, and like Jonathan Taylor looks like an absolute demon. Next up, we got the Jags. I'm gonna go B plus just because they have not looked good like offensively. I'm ready for that pop in that offense, you know. But yeah. Next up, we got the what is it? The Chiefs. D minus. I know they won the last few weeks, Chiefs fans. Don't get them in the comments, all right? But you have not looked good. All right? Like you had to be you're like I know I said this with the Bears, but you kind of beat up on the bad teams that have have defense teams that have really bad defense. Again, I won't be surprised if they win the division this year. All right, but they have not looked good. Chargers. I want to put them at A plus, but yeah, why not? I'll put them at A plus. I mean, I know they lost last week to the Giants. Okay, don't flame me in the comment section below. All right. But this team right now has looked amazing. Offensively, Justin Herbert looks like a demon. All right, Amarian Hampton looks like a stud. Bringing back Keenan Allen was huge. All right, Quentin Johnson seems to have resurrected himself. You know, Ladd McConkey, even though he's been a hit or miss, he's been amazing. And defensively, I mean, their defense is amazing. The Rams, I mean, I'm gonna go A minus right now. I still am kind of disappointed that they lost to the Eagles in week 3 of the NFL season. But a loss is a loss. Next up, we got the Raiders. I mean, F. I mean, outside of their upset win against the Patriots, they have not looked good. All right, and that's me being generous. Dolphins, F. 1-3. Offense is in shambles. Defense is a mess, and now they don't have Tyreek Hill. Vikings. I'm gonna say B minus right now. All right, but I worry about this team because this team can pop off anytime they want. All right, they have a ton of talent on this team. You know, Patriots, C plus. I mean, offensively they have been great. But I got to see more consistency in this team. Next up, we got the Saints. I mean, F. Giants, D minus. Jets, Steelers, A minus. I'm gonna go rapid fire here. All right. Seahawks, A minus as well. Bucks, A minus. All right. Titans, F, and then the Commanders, C to C plus. All right. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the first quarter grades of the NFL season? Let me know in the comment section below. All right. Our next segment is going to be our week. What is it? Our week 6 picks, I believe. All right. All right. Let me see if I could find. All right. I'm going to go rapid fire with these picks. Okay. So, if I'm. All right. So let's go. Let's start with Rams and the Niners. I'm gonna take the Rams here. Vikings, Browns. It is Dylan Gabriel's first start. I'm sorry. I'm taking the Vikings. Texans, Ravens. It depends if Lamar plays. If Lamar plays, I'm gonna still take the Ravens. If he's not, then I'll take the Texans. Raiders and the Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts. Cowboys, Jets. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. Giants, Saints. I'm gonna take the Giants in this one. Patriots, Broncos, Eagles. This is my upset pick of the week. I'm gonna take the Broncos. All right. But all right, Dolphins, Panthers. I'm gonna take the Dolphins in this one. Titans, Cardinals. I'm gonna take the Cardinals to win this game. Commanders, Chargers, a very interesting game, but I'm gonna take the Chargers. All right, Bucks and the Seahawks. I'm gonna take the Bucks to win this game. Lions, Bengals. I'm gonna take the Lions. Patriots and the Bills. I'm gonna take the Bills and the Chiefs and the Jaguars. I am gonna take the Chiefs. So, what are you guys' thoughts on my Week 5 NFL picks? Let me know in the comments section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please get a like, subscribe, turn that post notification bell. My off-season videos, I know I've been saying that for ad nauseum. Off-season videos will come out tomorrow, guarantee, locking it in, and then we're gonna start the NBA season in a couple weeks. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.